Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Matiullah Khatak teaching you English. Our topic today is I Dream a World. The title of the poem shows that the poet has a dream that he wants to materialize in the future. The dream is about an ideal world which is free from all kinds of ills like poverty, slavery, beggary, greediness, hatred, etc. He thinks there will be joy, peace, love, prosperity, and happiness for all human beings living on earth. The dream may come true to some extent, but to see all these things happening in this world, I think is an impossible job to do. If it happens somehow, it would mean that we are not living in a human world. We are living in a paradise. So I think this dream may come true to some extent, but in all its aspects, it is not possible. At the end of this lesson, we would like to achieve certain objectives, and these objectives are important to keep in mind while going through the poem. You must be able to know about the concept of personification when the poem comes to end. Know about rhyming and rhyming scheme. Know about the concept of a utopian world or dream world. Utopian world means dream world. Know about what is paraphrasing and how to understand a poem. So the poem consists of 16 lines, and it has been divided into 4 stanzas. Let us give a reading to the poem. Written by Langston Hughes. This is his dream world, which is free of cares and worries, where every man is happy, and the earth is decorated by peace and love. Stanza number 1 says, I dream a world where man no other man will scorn, where love will bless the earth, and peace its path adorn. So very easy to understand. He has a dream where no man will be hated by another man. Scorn means to hate somebody, to despise somebody. To hate somebody, to despise somebody. So he thinks, he dreams, we should say, he dreams that he dreams a world where no man will hate another man, where love will bless the earth and peace its path adorn. Adorn means decorate. To decorate something, to make, to beautify something, to make something beautiful. So love and peace, they are personified here. They are presented as human beings. They are given the characteristics of human beings. These two are personification in this stanza. So love will bless the earth, peace its path adorn. Peace will be busy in decorating the paths, and love will make the earth beautiful. It will be a beautiful place for everyone to live in. So, let us see the paraphrase of the poem. How to paraphrase a poem? I had told you about paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means to write or say something in the simplest possible words. The language that we use for daily communication is called prose. And prose which is used in converting a poem into a prose is called paraphrase. So paraphrase, you should not get confused, means to say these lines in the simplest possible words, in your own words, is called paraphrasing. So I dream a world where no one will hate with the others. The others here means the Blake. It doesn't refer to any other. It refers to the Blake because Langston Hughes, he comes from America, and this poem was written when the same situation as you observed in the earlier lessons. He had observed the same situation, he had been through the same situation, and he wrote this poem under that conditions when Blake were living in extremely bad situation or circumstances. So here others refers to the Blake, definitely. I dream a world where no one will hate with others. This is the paraphrase of the first two lines. I think of a world that is blessed with love and peace. This is the paraphrase you can say of the second two lines. Not complete, the remaining you can see here. So love and peace will bless the earth. Where there is a rule of love on the whole earth, love will rule the whole earth, and peace will make the earth attractive for everyone to live in. The earth looks more attractive by decorating it, so peace will decorate the earth where human rights are not violated and where people would behave like real human being. Real human being means they will not be hating one another, they will not be killing one another, they will not be feeling jealous when they see another man getting rich or richer. So he has that kind of world in his dream. The next stanza. I dream a world where all will know sweet freedom's way, where greed no longer saps the soul, nor avarice blights our day. So saps means weakens or destroy. Avarice, love for wealth. It is also called cupidity, extreme sort of love for wealth or riches. Blights means destroy. So it means love for wealth or cupidity as a bad thing. It destroys the human soul. If it occupies a human soul, it is completely destroyed by that. So the writer criticized the demerit of loving wealth an extreme way. So he says that I dream a world where all men will know sweet freedom way. All men will know sweet freedom way. Freedom once again is personified. Everyone will be free. He dreams such a world where each and every man will be free. He will act and express his feelings freely. No one will be greedy. If no one is greedy, if no one is anymore greedy, his soul will not be weakened by such ills or evils. Nor avarice blights our day. This greediness will not destroy our day anymore, because we will not feel jealous, or we will not are those human beings which he is dreaming about. They will not be, their days will not be destroyed by the power of jealousy for wealth. Let us see the paraphrase. I dream a world where everyone will enjoy freedom of expression and action. So, freedom of sweet freedom ways means freedom of expression and action. They will enjoy this. Greed will not destroy the soul. It means greed destroys the soul of man. If it is removed from this earth, man will become stronger and powerful and beautiful. Greed will not destroy the soul, where extreme desire for wealth means avarice. It will not spoil, destroy, they have the same meaning. This desire for wealth will not spoil the nature of man. When people will be most successful and famous, so people will be powerful, successful, prosperous, peaceful, loving, caring. All these qualities may come to front if these things come to end, if they are able to free to express themselves freely. They have no greed and they have no love for extreme sorts of love for riches. Then the people will be most successful and famous. Stanza number 3. I dream a world where black or white, whatever race you be. So as I told you, the poem is specially composed, written in favor of the black who are living in America, and they were passing through a very miserable condition. And then such leaders came to front as Martin Luther, Nelson Mandela, and Langston Hughes, a poet himself, a playwright, a dramatist, and activist, social rights activist, he as well. They will share the bounties of the earth, and every man is free. There will be no difference on the basis of being black or white or what race you come from, and they will enjoy the bounties of the earth. Bounties of the earth, the resources of the earth, what the earth produces, that will be shared by each and every man living on earth. And so this is the real sort of freedom, and he says every man is free. Let us see the paraphrase. I envision a world where there will be no discrimination on the basis of color, caste, or race, where all will share the natural resources, bounties of the world without racial difference, where all human beings will be free to think and free to act. So, stanza number 4. Where wretchedness will hang its head, and joy like a pole attend the needs of all mankind. Of such I dream our world. Wretchedness here refers to poverty, and it in the broader sense it also refers to those who are killing, who are busy in killing others, who are criminals, who are busy in killing others. It means the criminals. This criminal activity will come to end. Hang its head means it will end up, it will come to end, it will no more exist, it will be removed, erased completely from this earth. So where poverty or the criminal activities will come to end, and joy like a pearl, joy is here not personified, it is used as a simile, like a pearl, because this word has been used, like as a pearl. It will fulfill the need of all mankind. So every man will be happy and feeling joyful, which is the need of each and every human being, to be happy, to be peaceful, to be prosperous, to be feeling joyful. It is the need of every man. So the writer says it will fulfill the need of each and every man living on earth. Of such I dream our world. This kind of world is my dream. I dream a world, paraphrasing, I dream a world where there is no poverty, wretchedness, and no shortage of bread and butter for anyone. where happiness, prosperity, freedom, and joy will serve all mankind, where joy and happiness would spread like fragrance. Fragrance, odor. Odor means uh, you can say fragrance is the simplest possible word, pleasant, which is pleasant to smell. Such uh, is called fragrance, where the needs of all mankind will be fulfilled and no one has to borrow or steal. No one will resort to borrowing or stealing anything, because the needs of every man and woman will be fulfilled, whatever race or color or origin he may come from. Let us know a little about the poet. Langston Hughes was an American poet, social activist, novelist. So he wrote plays, novels, and social activist and columnist from Joplin, Missouri. He moved to New York City as a young man, where he made his career. Born February 1902, Joplin, Missouri, United States, and died on this particular date and Stuyvesant Polyclinic. The poet, his most important poems are I, To, Let America Be America Again. So education he got from Lincoln University, and he was appointed as a teacher in the same university for some years. The main idea of the poem is, the theme of the poem, the message of the poem is, in this poem the poet has presented an ideal concept of human life on the earth, where every man enjoys every facility of life. He wishes to have a quarrel-free world. He also wishes to have a peaceful world where no one hates the others, and where no concept of greed saps the soul of man. About saps, as I told you, weakens, destroy the soul of man. The life on earth should exactly resemble the life of heaven, where there will be peace and goodwill. So, the next session is related to questions and answers. So, what is a utopian world? You may be asked this question about what is a utopian world? A world which is free from all kinds of ill likes, poverty, greediness, hatred, slavery, corruption, beggary, etc. It is a world where every man is happy and love blesses the earth. This kind of world is called utopian. It is also called a dream world. And the next question, is it possible to see such a world here? So definitely not possible to see such a world. Is it a human world where such things will exist? They existed, they will exist, and they are existing. The next question, point out similes, metaphors, and personifications in the poem. This question may be asked in the paper. Wretchedness, love, peace, and greed have been personified. As I have told you about personification, when now an idea or a non-living thing is presented as a human or living thing, it is given the characteristics of living thing, we call it personification. So these wretchedness, as you noticed in the poem, wretchedness will hang its head, love will bless the earth, peace will adorn the path, there will be no more greed, no avarice. Greed, no avarice blights our day. It will lose the power to destroy our day anymore. So these are presented, these are as living human beings. So we call them personification. Joy like a pearl is an example of simile. So joy is presented like a pearl. It is an example of simile. So there is no metaphor being used in this poem. So what is rhyming and which rhyming scheme has been used in the poem? Rhyming and rhyming scheme. Rhyming when two lines or verses, two or more lines, verses ends in similar sound, we call it rhyming. In rhyming scheme is when two or more lines ending in similar sound are represented with a particular letter, we call it rhyming scheme. Let us see. Ending of two or more verses, lines in similar sound is called rhyming. So let us see what is rhyming in the poem. I dream a world where man no other man will scorn. Scorn, and the second, fourth line, where love will bless the earth and peace its path adorn. Scorn, adorn. These two are rhyming lines. They have the same sound. The other two, they are not rhyming with each other. Only scorn and adorn, they are rhyming with each other. If you are asked to write the rhyming scheme of this particular stanza, you will write the first one, I dream a world where men. This one is represented with A. No other man will scorn. This line with B. Where love will bless the earth. This line with C. And peace its path adorn. You cannot represent at this line with D because it is rhyming with which one? With the second one. So you will write the same letter for this one as well. I dream a world where man, no other man will scorn, and peace its path adorn. These are two rhyming words. They have the same sounds. They end in similar sounds. So these two are rhyming words. This one will be represented, this line will be represented with B, and this one will be represented with B. So the rhyming scheme will become A, B, C, B. So the rhyming scheme of this stanza is A, B, C, B. Let us see what is rhyming scheme. What is rhyming and rhyming scheme? Ending of two or more verses, lines and similar sound is called rhyming. If two or more verses, line that end in similar sound are usually represented by one particular letter, which becomes their rhyming scheme. So the rhyming scheme, RS, means the rhyming scheme used in the poem is A, B, C, B. So the whole poem, each stanza has this rhyming scheme A, B, C, B. The first two lines are similar. Scorn, adorn. You will see I dream a world where sweet's freedom's way, and day. This one, way, day. So A, B, C, B. And the same is the case. And dream of where, black or white, whatever race you be and free. This one A, B, C, B. And the same is true about head, pearl, mankind, world. Where wretchedness will hang its head, and A like a pearl, world. Head, world. This one also has the rhyming scheme of A, B, C, B. Joy like a pearl, world. Pearl, world, these are the similar sounds. So this is the end of this lecture. I hope you got the main points of the poem. You should forward your question if you have any in your mind. Next, we shall discuss the figures of speech. Thank you very much.